Stand clear of the closing doors! In this video, I'm excited to share my experience and thoughts on Washington, D.C. and why it sucks. Before we begin our ride, let me introduce myself. I'm Transit Nomad, a world traveler, business owner, music composer, filmmaker, and life coach on a mission to explore cities through the lens of public transportation. Please consider paying your fare by liking and subscribing or buying me a coffee using the link below. All aboard, let's go! Moving on to city parks, destinations, and places to visit, the best and most unique thing that Washington, D.C. has to offer is its free museums and tours of government buildings. I don't know any other city that has such a great selection of free museums and tours that you can get lost exploring for many days. If you are a transit lover, I recommend visiting the National Museum of American History, as it has an entire section dedicated to public transportation. Make sure to reserve a few hours to explore it properly. Within the same museum, there were also many other sections on different topics that were fun to check out. It's one of those museums where almost everyone can find something to enjoy, so it's my favorite one in the city. Depending on your personal interests, Washington, D.C. also has many other free museums dedicated to art, science, history, and government. Be sure to research your options before your trip so you don't have to waste time on that while being in the city. Visiting all the museums and government buildings probably won't be possible, no matter how fast and productive you think you can be. Depending on the time of year you visit, advance reservations may be required, and it's best to do that a few weeks in advance. If you want a relatively nice, free view of the city without having to make a reservation or waiting in line, head to the old post office tower with the entrance on 12th Street. It's less than half a mile away from the National Museum of American History, so you could combine these two in one day. Please note that it's completely different from the actual Postal Museum located near Union Station, which is also pretty cool. Do not skip out on the Capitol Building and the National Library of Congress. The interior and architecture, both inside and outside, is pretty impressive. I also recommend checking out and exploring a cool neighborhood called The Wharf, which is a new urban development along the waterfront with some nice views, art installations, concert stage, beautiful landscaping, elegant lighting, and a variety of stores and restaurants. It's a perfect place for walking around, and I personally enjoyed it a lot more than the National Mall. And don't forget about Georgetown University area, which also seemed much nicer than many other parts of Washington, D.C. To make things easy, I've prepared an awesome 3-day itinerary based on my personal experience that should be perfect for active travelers looking to see a little bit of everything. Featuring my personal favorite destinations along with the most popular spots that are free to visit. Everything is rated on a 1 to 10 scale and organized based on location and convenience, which should save you plenty of time. If you subscribe or donate any amount, no matter how big or how small, on Buy Me a Coffee, you will get immediate access to this itinerary as a thank you for your support. With that being said, city parks, destinations, and places to visit is the only category today that's going to get a high score of 9 out of 10. And this brings us to our last chapter, affordability, accessibility, and overall value.